Welcome everybody to Talking Movies with Blaine Childress. I'm here with my guest yet again, Blake Childress, also known as That One Filmmaker on YouTube.
Filmmaker on YouTube.
He makes movies, movie reviews.
What was my last video I made? I want to test your fan knowledge.
The vlog of you making that movie, right?
No.
No.
Wrong.
You're not a real fan.
You're a fake fan, bro. That actually is my last upload.
Yeah. How are you, Blake? How's your day?
I'm eating turkey, so I'm kind of happy right now.
Yeah, Blake's kind of having his lunch right now while we're doing this podcast. Yeah. So if you hear mouth noises, it's from him.
Yeah, if you want ASMR, I highly doubt it, but just listen to me eat, I'm sorry, everybody, if that's uncomfortable. Well, I'm hungry.
So, how was your week this week, Blake?
Well, same old, go to school, do your work,
yeah,
and then people bully you,
yeah,
and then you cry,
and then you do it all over again,
and then you forget all about it, and then you cry in your sleep.
You cry in your
and then I do that for 5 days.
I'm in constant pain.
I'm constantly crying every single second that I'm alive.
So let's start out.
This episode's going off to a good start.
Good, yeah, it's going off on a good start. So for this episode, we're gonna do the classic format for this episode. So we're gonna do the film news. Film news, and then we're going to talk about a new movie and a classic movie.
Yay! I missed the old format of the podcast.
Yeah, that was the old format. Recently, these recent episodes, we kind of stopped doing that format, or we kind of just do like an episode that has like a gimmick, I guess, and kind of like a cheese.
Hey guys, it's Blaine's lunch too.
Yeah, it's my lunch too.
Except he's stealing my own food.
Yeah, I'm kind of hungry. But yeah, let's start out with some film news.
My favorite part.
Film news. Let's look. Kanye West shares blunt thoughts about Disney's Star Wars movies. Kanye West has now added Star Wars discourse to the list of unexpected things he has weighed in on.
Are we gonna discuss what he thinks, or?
Yeah, I guess Kanye West doesn't like the Star Wars movies.
Wait, which ones is he talking about?
Our future president.
Which ones is he talking about? Is that an original trilogy or like new trilogy? Enjoy Blaine eating cheese.
This is what the famed rapper had to say. And this is about to make me mad right here. The first time you've seen me get mad in an interview. They said that George Lucas's prequels were worse than the corporate-made Disney Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. We saw how Darth Vader was made. I watched that like 10 times during COVID. Don't jump, Anakin. I've got the high ground.
So, wait, is he just saying the prequels are better than the sequel trilogy? Or?
I'm saying even the prequels are better than anything. And I'm sorry, Disney/Star Wars design team. No, man, this is George. This is his baby. That thing was set in his heart to show us, as children, the hero's journey.
Wow. That man is running for president.
Good man.
Good man. We can't get political, Blaine.
So, yeah, sorry, guys. What do you think of the Star Wars movies?
Well, I haven't been that much of a diehard fan of Star Wars. I only recently watched all the movies, like, honestly, a few months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the original trilogy. All three are good in my opinion. Prequels, they're okay. Some are downright terrible. Others are, like, somewhat decent, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And then sequels, in my opinion, I think they they really get a bad rap. I'm not saying they're good, but like, I mean, for sure, Last Jedi, you can just crap on that all you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
Force Awakens is, while it's kind of unoriginal and just kind of rips off the original movie, it's like, it's a reboot. That's what they always do.
Yeah.
And then with Rise of Skywalker, that's just an actual bad movie.
That's just
okay, so basically what I'm saying is crap on the last two. The Force Awakens, it's unoriginal, but it's okay. You know?
Yeah.
So, basically, Disney sucks. The only good thing they've done in Star Wars so far has been, I guess, Mandalorian. Like, that's the only good thing I can point to.
Or I've heard the Clone Wars series is pretty good.
Well, like the final season they made?
Yeah, and I think Disney kind of oversaw all that. That's what people have told me. All right, next up on the queue for film news. Great news for Jason Statham fans.
Oh my god.
The Meg 2 has finally taken a big step forward.
Yes!
Yes!
I'm so happy! I love that.
I love the Meg!
No, I love that. Jason Statham fans, because there's a billion of them. We all love his movies. Name one movie that you've seen him in. Not like that you like.
The Meg?
One. Okay, that's not The Meg. Something else.
Hobbs and Shaw, duh.
Shut up. Meg?
No, but yeah, Meg from Family Guy.
That was not a good joke.
I know.
I think you should leave.
Did you ever see the Meg? I didn't see the
I
Meg.
watched it. No, you want to know the funny part? As soon as HBO Max launched, I had nothing to watch, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna watch like a random movie just to see how it looks. And I started the Meg and just decided to watch it for curiosity. And yeah, I don't understand why there's a sequel being made. Like, the Meg isn't even a movie that I'd call like good or even bad. It's just, it is what it is. It's like, it's just Jaws, but the shark is big and the characters are poop.
Yeah, for real.
So I mean, like, hey, they're making a sequel. Apparently Meg is based off a book. I never knew that. I thought it was just like
It's a book?
Yeah, it was a book literally called The Meg.
It's a picture book?
It's a picture book for children. It's for toddlers. Jason Statham spares Big Shark Man. Big Shark Man died.
Big scary shark.
Big scary shark, he died.
Alright.
There's some good news so far.
Some good news.
I'm running out of hope for the Hollywood industry.
For real. Next up on the queue, we got Mark Wahlberg revealed a look at his Uncharted mustache, and the internet has thoughts.
Yeah, my question is, he's in the Uncharted movie? I had no idea.
Yeah, he's Sully. You played Uncharted, right?
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, Uncharted is a video game series that was on PlayStation 3. Well, the 3 games were, and Uncharted 4 was on PS4. One of my favorite video game series of all time. They come from Naughty Dog, my favorite video game studio. And I definitely have some opinions on this live action movie since it's a video game movie, and those
Are always good.
are always masterpieces.
We all love them.
But
I mean, are we specifically going to talk about just Mark Wahlberg?
Tom Holland is going to be.
There's a lot of weird casting choices in my opinion. I don't
think Tom Holland fits Nathan Drake at all.
I think it's supposed to be.
I don't think Mark Wahlberg fits Sully at all either.
I think it's supposed to be a younger story. Like, this is supposed to be like years before the first game. Like, do you remember? And I forgot what game it was, but remember when it did a flashback to when
3.
When Nathan Drake was like a kid. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is gonna be like a few, maybe like months or years after that flashback. Because I don't know, Tom Holland literally, like, if you put him next to Nolan North, it's like a 30-year difference or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah, I can agree with you, especially with Mark Wahlberg. Like, did you even see the post he made about it? It's just a video of him looking at the camera with his mustache, and he just says, "Don't ask." Stupid.
It's dumb.
I love video games.
Alright, next up on the
Call
queue.
of Duty the movie. Is that the next news?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, they're apparently they're trying to make their own like Fast and Furious series based on Call of Duty movies. Bruh, I'm watching every single one.
That's so stupid. Next up on the queue, Marvel's Shang Chi has finally wrapped, and the cast and crew are celebrating with sweet posts. The MCU film is one step closer to being finished, so...
I seriously thought that they just canceled every MCU movie because of COVID. I find it nuts that they were able to still shoot these movies under the guidelines.
Yeah, so I guess Shang-Chi. So for those of you that don't know, Shang-Chi is going to be a future Marvel Cinematic Universe film. And it's going to be in the style of like martial arts or like kung fu movies. That just kind of just sounds really awesome. Just to have like a martial arts like Bruce Lee sort of type movie in the MCU, and I'm just always down to see new and original ideas being implemented in the MCU. What do you think?
I don't know if I've said this before, but it's not Spider-Man. I'm out.
I'm out. I need Spider-Man.
I don't know. Like, my actual opinion is, I don't know. It's like, I think I said it in one of my videos, but it's like, Endgame was such like a mic drop that I feel like watching any more movies just feels like a waste of time. Like Far From Home, like Spider-Man Far From Home is not that bad of a movie. It's like I feel like that movie was tainted by the fact that Endgame exists.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know.
They came out the same year.
Well, no, it's just like the fact that Endgame exists. Like I said, the ending and like what it is.
Well, this is like the next like chapter, I guess, or the next book.
Well, yeah. Well, what I feel like is that book doesn't even matter anymore. I'm sorry. It's just like
I hate you, Blake.
You're just stupid.
This is why I hate it.
I didn't want you as a co-host every time.
Every single time. Remember in the first episode, I was like, "It's gonna be different guests every single time."
But nope.
It's been Blake every single time.
We might have one special guest throughout one.
We might. Then there's going to be a random episode where it's going to be nobody.
Yeah, it's just going to be silence. No, you're going to talk with yourself. Like special guest Blaine Childress.
Special guest Blaine Childress in my head.
Hey, what's up, bro? But I mean, like, actually, movies, I don't know, with Marvel, I'm just like, I guess I'll just say I'm pleasantly interested. I'll still see them, but I'm not holding out a lot of hope. I am interested in TV because I actually want to see if the Marvel
shows,
the Marvel studios can actually make TV, or if it's just going to be like miniseries. Because I think that's what all of them are.
Yeah,
I don't think.
They seem kind of like miniseries-ish.
Like I don't think any of them are going to have like.
I don't think WandaVision and like the Winter Soldier and the Falcon are going to go on for a long period of time.
Because like I think those are supposed to be basically just movies, but they're just like splitting them up into like episodes. Shang-Chi, Kung Fu, yaha.
All right, last news article from Cinema Blend, and I like to reiterate, Cinema Blend is so amazing. I love using the Cinnabon. Gosh, I just want to Cinnamon Cinema Blend website. It's so good. I highly recommend it if you want up-to-date film and TV news. I use it every single morning whenever I wake up. Definitely recommend using it.
We'd also like to reiterate, we are not sponsored at all.
We're not sponsored, but it's just, oh my gosh.
Blaine is just being weird and
I'm just being weird, and I love Cinema Blend. But last year on the agenda, Creed 3 may be happening with Michael B. Jordan in a larger role.
What?
I want to go into depth with this because I love Creed. And
I was gonna be like, oh my god, he's gonna direct this one. He's gonna produce this one.
This is like 2 years ago. Creed fans have been waiting for an update on the third film in the series.
Too fans.
This is easier said than done, as Michael B. Jordan, Tessa Thompson, and Rocky legend Sylvester Stallone all have their hands full with other projects, like the superhero.
What was it called? I already forgot the name.
Samaritan, I think it was.
Oh yeah, he's a good boy. He's a good boy saving a kid in that movie.
It's definitely not Unbreakable.
Yeah.
It was previously revealed that a writer had been tapped for the project, but not much else has been said on the matter. Now, it not only appears that the film could indeed be happening, but may also put Jordan in a major position.
Uh-oh.
According to Deadline, Michael B. Jordan has been tapped to both direct and star in Creed 3. The trade made mention of the development while discussing MGM's handling of No Time to Die's release. No other details has given aside from the brief mention of Jordan directing. So... what do you think of that?
I want Creed 3 to be stupid.
You want it to be like over the top, like
I want it to
3?
be Rocky 3. Because then if we get to, like, I mean, they've already tackled the Russian thing with Creed 2. So, like, what would Creed 4 be?
You mean Creed 3?
Well, no, I'm saying, like, if they move past Creed 3, if they went to 4, because, like, Rocky 4 was the most over-the-top movie in that series. So could Creed 4...
What's a big, like,
Creed fights aliens.
What's a big star that was sort of like Mr. T?
Like right now?
Yeah, what's like comparable to like Mr. T?
Well, the thing is, Mr. T, that was his acting debut, so it'd have to be somebody new. But...
I would say somebody... maybe not like... I don't know, I was about to say The Rock. But The Rock is really well known, and I don't think people would take that seriously.
No. He could
maybe that's why you should do it, because
he could take the place of remember Hulk Hogan and Rocky 3?
Yes, that's
he can
right,
be the
Hulk
wrestler
Hogan.
guy. He can be Thunderlips' son.
Yeah, he could be like a there could be a scene where it just shows Michael B. Jordan trying to fight The Rock. And The Rock just destroys him.
And then he dies. It's a short film. It's only 13 minutes long.
The Rock is the greatest fighter of all time. I don't know, man. Yeah, I guess just get like some like rando guy. Random dude.
My favorite superhero.
Random dude, and just be like, this is the new fighter. Or maybe get like...
And that's what all these movies are. It's like, hey, this is the new guy that he fights.
And then, yeah, like in the fourth one, it could be,
aliens.
He fights, like...
robots.
Terrorists. Because in the fourth Rocky movie, it was America's, like, biggest enemy, which was, like, communism in, like, Russia.
Dude, that reminds me.
Or like Michael B. Jordan fighting Kim Jong-un.
No, that reminds me of Sylvester Stallone. He said that he was interested in... He said that he's retiring the Rocky character so that if Creed 3 does happen, he's not going to be in it. He said that... Yeah, he said that he did have an idea for, like, a way to bring Rocky back on his own for a movie, but it's not like a boxing movie. He said something about how he wanted to make a film about Rocky helping Mexican immigrants across the border. And it's like a dramatic film or something. I mean, like, Rocky, that's not like a Rocky kind of thing. That just sounds like...
That just sounds like a what-if story.
What if Rocky saved Mexican immigrants?
Immigrants.
Let them pass across the border.
Hey, man, I'm just rolling around, man.
Rocky just picks them up and just...
Like, what's this
throws
dude
them
from Philly doing...
in Texas.
In Mexico.
Nah, he's there. He'll get a shovel and just...
Yeah, he's just chilling.
Dig under.
So that's going to conclude...
movie news.
So... that's going to roll into the new release that released a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, released Thursday night and Friday day.
Thursday night, what did it have, like a special premiere somewhere?
I don't know, because I mean, like, after we were done at the theater, I just went on Amazon Prime and
it was there.
It was there.
So this was released on Amazon Prime. This is Borat 2.
Yeah, you remember when we talked about Borat?
We did? When?
I remember we mentioned it in an episode. That was with, like, a a classic that we talked about, and we discussed our opinions on like the trailer to Borat 2.
Oh my gosh, it's been a while.
You're forgetting your own episodes of your podcast. How do I remember more about the episodes we do than you?
Whatever.
Whatever, bro.
So Borat 2.
Do you want to say the whole name? Because you got to say.
I don't remember it.
Borat's subsequent movie film deliver of prejudiced bride to the vice premier of America to restore the glory of the now diminished nation of Kazakhstan. I think that's what it is.
Do you think that this is the longest movie title?
No, there's got to be one troll director out there that's like, it's like just like a bunch of nonsense letters.
It's a paragraph.
And then like if it's just shortened down to like at the Oscars when they announce who won, it's just like E.
E.
It's just, and the best picture goes to E.
Not even a letter, it's just a noise. Picture goes to
it's just like some guy up there, so like best picture goes to
just makes a grunting noise. But no, yeah. So what did you think of
Borat 2?
Rocky 2. Borat 2.
You got Rocky on the brain.
Yeah.
Well, I have some thoughts on Borat 2.
What are those thoughts?
Well, a few things to mention. There is some controversy with this movie, which is to be expected.
What's the controversy?
Controversy. It's a little political. Ooh, spicy jalapeno.
Spicy. Naughty.
But no, it's the former mayor of New York, who is now President Trump's lawyer. Basically, his name's Rudy Giuliani. I'm not sure. Were you still there at that part?
No.
Oh, you weren't? Okay. Well, I'll explain the controversy to you. So basically, in the movie, technically I'm gonna spoil it. So
spoilers.
Spoiler alert. But there's a scene in which Borat, who has a daughter, in the movie, I'll explain the plot in a little bit, but Borat's daughter goes to interview Rudy Giuliani, who I just said, former mayor of New York, and he's President Trump's lawyer, and she's conducting an interview, but in order to save her father from being executed by Kazakhstan, she wants to give herself to him as a bride, and she's being very weirdly sexual around him, and he starts being very sexual around her by just like touching her and stuff. And then he goes over to his bed, and the controversy comes from people think that he put his hand down his pants, just in the shot. And then Borat busts in and is like wearing some weird like bikini with like a dildo or something attached to it. I don't even know what it was, but like, and then he's like, "Hey, no, stop it!" And then that's how the scene ends.
Stop it now!
Which is funny because I remember like months ago I heard news where like at first I guess I didn't know it was like Borat related. But I remember Rudy Giuliani came out and said like I was doing an interview with someone and then some man in a transvestite costume broke in.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
I didn't even know it had to do with Borat. Now I'm happy I know what that article is about. But yeah, the controversy comes from the fact that the character, his daughter, while the actress is actually 22 years old, her character was labeled as 15 years old. So that means that this old man openly put his hand down.
But does that mean...
He explained in a Twitter...
Even though technically she's not underage?
Well, I mean, regardless, it's still, like,
it's still
uncomfortable.
Weird. It's still weird that this old guy is just, like, doing that, but, like...
I don't know, but, like, because his Twitter response was...
I mean, I'm not defending this guy.
But why are you defending a rapist?
I'm not defending him. I'm just saying, like, does, like... So I'm guessing he doesn't get in trouble since it's, like, a fictional... character, or like
I guess
she was just acting.
It was a trick of the fiction.
Trick of the fiction.
But Yeah, he made a response on Twitter and discussed how he was
As
actually
all political stuff gets done these days. You gotta go on Twitter. Post about it.
He posted how he was actually just trying to remove his mic pack. Your mic pack is in your private area. Like, if that's the case, then
yeah, it's a weird place to put your mic, buddy.
Yeah, some people are like, a lot of people don't believe him. A few friends of mine are like, maybe he's right after watching the scene. Like, they think that the editors intentionally tried to make him look bad.
Yeah, if you don't agree with us, then you're
stupid.
You're gross.
But back to the actual movie itself.
Yeah, back to.
So what?
Actually talking.
What's this movie about? It's about Borat, who we discussed in the other episode. It's played by Sacha Baron Cohen, and Borat is just a reporter from Kazakhstan. And in this movie, because of the first movie ruining their country, they arrest him and sentence him to go to a gulag. And and then
Borat sent to gulag in Call of Duty.
Bro, can you buy me back? Anyway, eventually their premier or whoever their like president man is,
Vladimir Putin
bails him out and says, if you go to America and deliver a monkey who is a porn star or something, it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
To Michael Pence, the vice president of America, then he will not be killed and executed. And along the way, his daughter, who he didn't know existed, he's like, I didn't know I had a female son. His daughter comes along the way, and eventually, after it's revealed that she ate the monkey or something, he decides to instead try and give her off as a present to Michael Pence. And then just a bunch of crazy stuff happens. Like,
yeah.
I think the craziest thing is
street performer stuff.
Yeah, the one thing that I didn't know was that
and it's a mockumentary.
Yeah, it's not real. Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen's not actually Borat. But one thing I didn't know that's really interesting about this movie is apparently they were shooting this movie pre-COVID, but then because of COVID, they adapted the plot around it.
Interesting. When did they start filming this?
It was it probably had to have been like in late 2019, and then like it fed into like around February and early March.
Yeah.
And then when it got to the, I think, midway point of the movie, that's when it was March and COVID hit. Or maybe it was June. What's weird is like, because there's like some redneck guys in the movie that Borat's hanging out with quarantining, and he says like, oh, it's June. So it's like, but like June and March, did he stay with them for 3 months? He didn't say that.
He just stayed with these rednecks for like 3 months.
I think he said he stayed a maximum of 5 days in their house in character. Yeah. He never broke. But yeah, it's a very shocking movie if you're not one to accept what's it called?
Different ideologies.
No, I mean I don't know. It's more like just like that certain type of humor. I don't know what to call it.
Dark humor?
I guess, but it's like just messed up humor.
Yeah, dark.
Yeah, I guess. Then you're not gonna like this movie. I remember like we showed the first movie to somebody, and they were like, "That is the worst movie I've ever seen." And, like, I love Borat. I think it's one of my favorite comedies of all time.
I love Borat. I think it's same. I definitely think it's one of the funniest comedy films of our generation.
And while I like Borat 2, my main problem with it is Borat 1 is so funny because while that movie has a plot, it's an actual movie. It's not too in depth with the plot. Like it's still like a prank movie of Borat's character interacting with people in public and embarrassing people.
Yeah.
There is a loose plot of him trying to get married to Pamela Anderson, but like that's barely a focus in the movie. That's just explaining why he goes from point A to point B. It's a motivation.
Yeah.
But with Borat 2, there's an actual plot. and it feels like
It's basically like I compare it to something like Jackass.
Are you talking about that Bad Grandpa movie?
Or yeah, something like Bad Grandpa, to where like it's about a guy and he dresses up and then he just messes with people basically.
And then there's some plot.
And then then they just filmed that for like about like a year, and then the editors just pick scenes and just try to loosely create a plot out of like each.
Yeah, and then you can use voiceovers and maybe reshoots to actually make the plot work.
Those guys, the Jackass guys, basically like perfected that like art style of like making movies, like mockumentary / like prank movies, I guess. And then when did Borat come out? The first one.
Borat was 2006, I believe.
2006.
Yeah.
Really? Hold on.
Yeah, it's a very early.
I don't think it was that. I don't think it's that old.
No, it is. Like you mean Borat 1?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was around when Bush was still president.
2006. Yeah, right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
2006.
I mean, he does say in Borat 2, he says, 14 years ago, I released Hollywood movie film.
That's a long time ago. I was 6 years old.
I was 3 years old. High five!
High five!
Yeah, I honestly think, like, with Borat 2, the pranks and stuff, while they're still good, they get, like, just, like, I don't know, like...
You can tell they've aged.
No. I'm trying to figure out the word for it, but it's, like, unfocused. It feels like there's more of a focus on the story rather than, like, what Borat is actually about.
And since, like, he's become so much of an icon now, I bet you it was probably really hard to, like, find, like, people that didn't know what Borat even is.
Which they adapted the plot around that, which was cool since they had him wear costumes.
They had that scene where he tried to go up to people, but everybody's like, Borat, oh my god, I love you.
Which is why he puts on costumes.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the plot. It's not that bad. Honestly, think there's some really, I guess I'd say heartwarming moments. But, again, Borat's not about the plot. Borat, in my opinion, is all about the social commentary on, a lot of things, xenophobia,
I also think that's
racism.
kind of weird how that girl is clearly not 14. And that's how old she's supposed to be, right? Like 14, 13? Because she wasn't a thing.
No, it's like 15.
Well, how? Well, how long is 2016? Or not 2016, 2006 from 2019? How many years is that? Hold on. I got this.
I'll go this. Because I think the
13.
idea...
Yeah, she has to be at least 13.
The character?
Yeah, because she wasn't a thing in the first Borat, so...
Maybe that's the joke, is that, like, he just never knew.
And she's clearly not 13. She's clearly, like, in her 20s.
Yeah, she's a 22-year-old actress. I guess because if they...
I don't know if it would have made it better.
No, because the problem is there's a lot of things the character does that are very inappropriate, especially with the mating dance scene. Like they did that with a 13-year-old Blaine. Yeah, what are you talking about? I
don't know. I'm just trying to like nitpick, trying to like pick like different things that like I didn't really like. I don't know. I just didn't like her whole character, to be honest. It just seemed it was like really like tacked on, or just like I hate it when movies do that. Whenever they're just like, this character that you've never seen before has been here this whole time, and now we're doing that for this sequel. They kind of did that. Speaking of Uncharted, from the film news, they kind of did that for the fourth Uncharted. They introduced this brother character that Nathan had that was never stated in the other games.
You're just saying it felt like a executive decision rather than a creative decision?
Yeah, it just felt like they were just like...
Throw in a brother character.
Just throw in this character, and just, I don't know, I didn't like that aspect of it. That's probably my least favorite part, other than just like...
I thought she was fine. I can see that, of feeling like it is an executive decision. I think my biggest criticism is that it's just not as funny. Yeah. I don't know why. It's like Borat 1 is just so out there And also, like, I feel like there's more of a lesson to be learned from the first movie. I guess maybe because at the time, terrorism and racism and being afraid of people that aren't American, that was like a big deal back then. And so, like, the pranks and stuff that Sasha came up with, if you really think about it, had a lesson. Like I said, it's about racism and just the people of America just not liking other countries and stuff like that. But, like, with Borat 2, I just don't really see much. The only thing I can understand is that with the ending of the film, it just teaches how countries are starting to learn that they shouldn't look up to America as do, like, what we should strive to be, and instead should try to do their own thing. Mm-hmm. But since, you know, this is Borat and it exaggerates it, like, with the ending, they're like, we hate Americans! And, like, you remember the running of the Jew part in the first movie?
Yeah.
They replaced it at the ending with the running of the American, and they beat up, like, guys that are wearing, like, Make America Great Again hats. And eventually there's, like, one that says, oh my god, here comes Karen, and she has, like, an AR-15. And the funniest part was, like, they have that Dr. Fauci guy come in, he's like, oh my god, he has the vaccine for the coronavirus, and the Karen just
shoots it with the gun. We don't want it! We want war! But no, overall, what would you rate the movie out of 10?
I mean, even if it's not as good as the first movie, because again, Borat 1, solid 9.5. Like, it's really good. But I mean, like, Borat 2 is not bad, it's just...
Remember that time at my old apartment, me, you, Trent, and Cameron all got together and we watched Borat?
That was amazing. I think that was that my first time watching it?
I think.
Yeah. Like, I laughed so much during that first watch. It's just like, this movie, it just, I don't want to say it didn't live up to my expectations, because I expected it to not be as funny. I don't know, it's just slightly empty, in my opinion. Yeah. But I mean, it's still, I still had a good time watching it. I guess it's just not as fulfilling of like I want to rewatch it right now experience. But I guess if I had to give it a score, I'd probably give it a solid 7.
8 out of 10. Yeah, I would agree. So definitely, if you have an Amazon Prime account,
go check it out. Borat 1's also on Amazon Prime Video. So
if you haven't seen that, go check that out. Just check both of them out. They're really funny. It'll definitely bring you some laughs,
especially with what's going on right now.
Yeah, with all these gloomy times.
Especially with Borat 2. Like, Borat 2 jokes about COVID a lot. And the ending, not the ending, the twist that they reveal with COVID. Did I tell you about the twist?
No.
Okay, well, spoiler alert, one more thing about Borat 2. But they reveal at the ending that the reason that they wanted him to go to America was not to give anything to Michael Pence. It was actually, they injected him with COVID-19. And Kazakhstan manufactured the virus in order to get revenge on America for the first movie and it ruining their country. And so Borat was actually patient.
For those of you who are wondering why Blake is telling me all this, I didn't finish it.
Yeah, you walked out.
Yeah, me. So I guess that kind of says something about like the quality of it compared to the first one. I didn't finish it with the rest of all of us, but I watched like a good portion of it.
Yeah, I don't know, that part was really funny to me, just because he's just like, oh my god, I'm the one that spread it the whole time.
Nice.
They're like melting bats, and they put it in him.
Nice. So yeah, definitely go check out the Borat movies on Amazon Prime.
Yep.
So for the last portion of the podcast,
classic movies.
For the classic movie section, we're gonna talk about an experience that we experienced this week. We went and saw the 40th anniversary of Fathom event of The Shining.
Yeah.
This week. What how did you enjoy it? Did you really like it? Well, what was your experience?
Wait, you're talking about the movie or like?
No, just the experience.
Of the experience of that.
Going and seeing it.
Well, funniest part was, of course, the fact that first 10, 15 minutes of the movie, the lights were on.
The lights were on, and we were all fighting with each other.
I always hate that so much because, like, what that means is that the people that work there, like, does it mean that they just, like, don't expect people to be there? So they just kind of leave the lights on anyway?
Or I think they do a thing, since I worked at a movie theater, and you have too, but we never, well, you were an usher, so you probably had to deal with, well, no, you probably didn't have to deal with theater, like, actual theater controls.
Oh, yeah.
That's, like, an upper level thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's, like, a switch that they do, that, like, people up in the podium, like, they have to do, like, before a movie starts, they have to flip on the movie projector, and then they have to flip on the lights, because the lights are on when you first walk in, and then they dim down when the movie starts, or, like, when the trailers start.
Yeah.
So, like, there's, like, a thing. And I guess when, at that event, since it was, like, a Fathom event, and there weren't any trailers,
nobody knew when to turn off the lights.
Yeah. But thankfully, a guy got up and told them about it, and then the lights came off. But
yeah,
I don't know. I really liked it. I was expecting the Fathom event sections to be longer, because it was literally just
yo, Shining is such a cool movie, and then, like, movie starts, and then by the end it's like, whoa, did you know that Shining did this? Okay, bye.
Alright, see ya. I don't know, I definitely...
You wish there was more of, like, a...
Yeah, I wish it was more of, like, a big, like, event, like, oh my gosh. Like, I wanted, like, at least some souvenir. I mean, I guess I could just buy a Shining shirt or something.
Yeah, because they kept putting up the Stanley Kubrick collection website.
Yeah.
Saying, if you use the code Shining, you get, like, 10% off on your first purchase.
Yeah. But yeah, we watched The Shining, which is my favorite movie of all time. It kind of shifts though more now, as I've gotten older, because Stanley Kubrick, for those of you who don't know, who you should know, Stanley Kubrick is my favorite filmmaker of all time. He's one of the smartest and best filmmakers of all time, and his big three movies are my favorite movies of all time. So The Shining, 2001, and A Clockwork Orange. And I love all his movies, but, like, those three are the ones that I consider, like, masterpieces. Mm-hmm. I don't see anything wrong with them. Mm-hmm. He's so good. I just love his movies. And if Fathom Events or some other movie theater around here is ever going to do a showing of 2001: A Space Odyssey, I want all of us to go, because I want to watch that movie in a movie theater. That just screams, like, this needs to be shown in a movie theater to me. What can there be said about The Shining that hasn't already been said before? It's an amazing film. It's based on the Stephen King novel,
which again, everybody probably knows this at this point. Stanley Kubrick just said, screw the book, it sucks, and kind of just did his own thing, which Stephen King is famously hated him for it.
Yeah, said that he didn't like the movie.
Sucks. Just
because it's so different from his novel. Mm-hmm. Which, I don't know, I understand, since it's, like, your novel. But, like, I don't know, in
my opinion, I think Stanley Kubrick honestly made the source material better.
Definitely. I definitely think he made The Shining a whole lot scarier.
I guess maybe Stephen King's book is a good literary experience. Stanley Kubrick just made it better as a cinematic experience with his own changes.
Yeah, I guess. But I love The Shining. It's so good. The different, like, interpretations you could have of the film, the little details.
Yeah, have you seen that documentary they made on like people? It was like a
conspiracy. I haven't seen the full. I haven't seen the documentary, but I have seen.
Well, there's two, because, like, there's the one that was made by Kubrick's daughter that was shot while they were making the movie. That's like a behind the scenes thing you can watch. What I'm talking about is Room 237, which is just that weird movie of a bunch of conspiracy theorists.
I have seen YouTube videos. I have seen YouTube videos that discuss all the different interpretations. Like
there's a lot of weird stuff.
Like it could be him explaining that he faked the moon landing, and there's the one where it's him talking about the Holocaust.
There's like one where it's like, oh my god, look at that poster on the wall. That's like Bigfoot. Bigfoot represents racism.
Yeah, it's just a lot of people.
You can see Stanley Kubrick's face in the clouds. It's like a photoshopped image.
It's just clearly photoshopped. His face is just in the sky.
No, it's just like a square shot that somebody just placed in the movie.
It's a cylinder, just.
It's a Google screenshot off someone's phone. Like, whoa, you can see it.
He clearly put this in.
Totally.
What do you have to say about The Shining?
The Shining is great movie because it's really hard to put in words. It's good in my opinion for a lot of reasons. Like when I look at Stanley Kubrick's movies, I always see them as like very refined experiences. I mean, especially since he's a perfectionist. But like, for some reason, The Shining just looks rough. Like, it looks old. It looks like a lot of the camera movement, a lot of the time is somewhat
something I've noticed
shaky.
with this watch through. There was a lot of fade-ins, like
fade-ins.
Like or
transitions?
fade outs.
Oh yeah,
transitions. Of like, it just seemed like every single scene ended with a fade out, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of fade outs in this movie.
I don't know. It's just like, I guess since this is a horror movie, I feel like Kubrick wanted to intentionally make the movie somewhat rough with how it's actually made, and also
all the different continuity errors, like the vanishing chair. The missing dopey sticker.
Information constantly changes throughout the movie for weird reasons, which is funny because in other movies you'd be like, oh, it's just a continuity error, they messed up. But where it's like, oh, it's Kubrick, he made it, he wanted it to happen.
He's such a perfectionist, there's no way he could like not have seen like these like continuity errors. That's kind of just what makes it all so maddening. And the interior design of the Overlook Hotel
makes no sense.
Makes no sense. That part also is pretty unnerving. Gosh, I love The Shining.
One thing that I really like.
I definitely recommend. I don't know if it's on any streaming services. I'm just going to say that right now. Let me check for all you people.
For all you peoples.
Hold on.
Come on, Blaine, hurry up.
No.
Ah!
It's on it's on Amazon Prime if you have a Prime account.
Check and see if it's like if it's available.
It's on Fubo.
Is it available with Prime or?
It's on Sling TV.
Blaine,
it's on Philo. It's on AMC.
Blaine, is it available?
It's on Vudu.
Is it available through Prime or do you have to rent it on Prime?
Let me check.
Because that's one thing I don't like about Google is they say it's a Prime movie. But what they really mean is you can rent it on Amazon Prime.
It's a Pepe the Frog thing on Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah, the Pepe the Frog documentary. I forgot what it was called.
Feels good, man.
Yeah. I heard that was pretty good.
That's weird. The Shining.
Wow, Blaine, you're taking up so much empty time.
Subscribe. Yeah, you have to subscribe to AMC to watch it.
Wow. That sucks. AMC has a streaming service.
But I highly recommend that you spend some amount of money to watch it.
$5
rent
million.
it, buy it on YouTube, buy a Blu-ray, buy a boxed collection set of all his movies. The Shining is so freaking good.
One thing
I don't see anything wrong with it. The only thing I see wrong with it is Jack Nicholson might be kind of crazy from the get-go, I guess. But other than that, the movie's amazing. Go watch it. It's a masterpiece.
You didn't let me talk at all. You talked to
I don't care. It's my favorite movie of all time, and I'll talk over anybody that has anything to say about The Shining.
One thing that I like about The Shining is the movie itself, like, throughout, isn't really that scary. like one thing I like about the ending is that Kubrick just throws everything in the ending.
Throws
all of the music and just like I really love the that music that appears whenever there's just like something random that happens.
And you
in
hear
the ending.
like the chanting of like different voices. It's like the voices of the ghosts.
It's like the spirits of the Overlook Hotel finally consumed them.
Oh, dude!
It's a really cool.
I'm so in love with this movie.
And also, I'd like to understand your opinion. So you love Stanley Kubrick,
yes.
But do you think what he did with Shelley Duvall?
I think it's all respectable.
Really?
The fact that he mentally abused her, I'm fine with.
That is okay.
It's really messed up.
It's messed up. That's like a ultimate troll move, where it's like, look, I'm gonna make you a better actress by abusing you,
get you in that character,
get you into that headspace. It's like, if you can't do it naturally, I'll beat you up.
Nah, I don't think he ever got.
He never physically abused her. It was all mental and psychological. Because all I heard was that he intentionally blindly supported everything Jack Nicholson would do, and would blindly hate everything that she would do to make her feel alone and like nobody liked her.
Yeah, I remember in the documentary footage there would just be footage of Kubrick like looking at Shelley, and he's just like, I don't like Shelley. I don't like her. She's like, oh, okay, and he's just like, yeah, I don't like you. But please do the scene better, and I don't like you. And he would just do that for like every
horrible. My favorite.
I felt so bad for Shelley Duvall.
My favorite thing of all the documentary footage that I watched was when it was like the behind the scenes of the bathroom scene. I love the part when like she's going back in the bathroom and she just looks at the camera and just says bye.
Bye. Everything sucks.
Bye, my life sucks.
All the footage of Kubrick. Shelley, this sucked. Your performance sucked. I need you to do better.
We are going to do 127 takes for this one shot because you are so dumb and stupid.
That was a good scene, though.
Winning! It is honestly probably one of the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to take 100 takes, you probably...
Like, Shelley looks
There's probably a bunch of takes of Jack Nicholson just like... just going completely crazy.
Like, Shelley in that scene looks like hot garbage. Jack Nicholson looks like he's ready to go home and go to bed.
Ready to go to bed.
So it's like I said, with the whole idea that the movie is very rough, like, that scene looks the most rough, especially on the actors.
It was definitely from that era, like late 70s, early 80s, where like a horror movie was like really like roughly made. You got stuff like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Exorcist, this.
So yeah, maybe Stanley Kubrick was trying to intentionally mimic those kinds of movies.
Not really mimic, but it's from that era, like the late 70s, early 80s.
I thought you were saying he's like, usually I'm very specific with how I make my movies, but since this is a horror movie, I'm going to try and, be like these kinds of movies.
These guys.
I'm going to downgrade my direction of films.
You kind of think of it like some of the best horror movies of all time has come from directors who aren't really known for horror. You got like Kubrick with The Shining, the guy that did The Exorcist. He was known for like documentaries, and then he made The Exorcist. Ridley Scott with Alien, because I think he did like some like sci-fi, like other sci-fi and like action stuff.
I'm not even really sure how to explain that. I guess it's just like
they just view horror from like a different eye.
Yeah.
And it just turns into something more original.
And also, I'm pretty sure if you're a person that only does horror,
And Kubrick didn't do horror. He did like...
You could consider some of his movies horrifying, but they're not scary. He's
done like different like genres in all his movies. He's never done... He's done like a couple war movies, I guess. War movies, dramas. He's done like a noir. He's done a heist movie. He's done an epic, like a Spartacus.
Yeah, it was literally. I think it was literally called Spartacus.
Yeah, it's called Spartacus, but the type of movie.
I think you said epic.
Yeah, it's just those epic movies from the 60s, like
the epic movie.
What's another one? The
Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur. Yeah, those like
Cleopatra, I think, is also one of them.
Those movies that are supposed to take place like in the
Roman times.
Greek Roman times. He's made a couple of those. Made a couple war movies, a couple of comedies, a couple of sex films with Tom Cruise. Some good movies.
They're just saying, like, at the end of his career, he just decided to make some porn with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Just before he dies, he's like, all right,
I'm ending off with a bang.
That was such a good pun.
But yeah, I highly recommend The Shining. Any last thoughts on The Shining, Blake?
It's great, and if you've never seen it before, give it a watch.
What are you doing with your life?
You don't understand anything.
Especially since, wait, is this going to be the one podcast for Christmas or not Christmas?
Christmas.
Yeah, because the next podcast is going to be on the 1st. So yeah, this is going to be the Halloween thing for Halloween coming up. You can watch The Shining and watch a bunch of other horror movies.
You can watch Borat 2. It's a good horror film.
Watch Borat 2 for Halloween.
Understand all the American horrors in our country.
Well, I think that's about going to do it for us.
That's about going to do
it. Talking Movies, episode
7?
7, yeah.
Wow.
We definitely come afar.
Come far.
We definitely come
We've
afar.
come a far long way, my son.
We definitely had a long journey.
7 weeks?
Yeah.
That's like almost 2 months, right?
No, that's exactly a month.
No. 1 month is like...
No,
1 month is like... It's like 5 months.
5 months. 1 month is like 5 months.
Yeah, it's like January is actually just January through May.
We're like on Venus time. Or like 1 month
Everything
is
slowed
like
down.
1 month is like 3 years.
The best reason to go move to another planet.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you.
We really appreciate you listening. Got any final words, Blake?
Thanks for listening.
Nope, never mind. Alright, bye. See you later, everybody.
So you've done this to me.
Bye.